guys, it's been a long time since I haven't do a video like this because you often know a very long time ago I usually did a video about presentation about different stuff like types of hats or castles or criminals, many types of problems. And today I'm back again with one presentation, and this is about type of houses. Well, you come through the street, you take a walk, you often see many houses, and there are many type of houses as well. So can you name some type of house? Well, today, if you don't know any type of houses, and you just know that this is a house, then you should watch today's video to know more about houses. And maybe when you walk along the street, you can know more about the house and know which type of houses it is. And today's video, there are a lot of keywords, definitions, and examples. So let's get started. First, we have the first type of house, which is the apartment. Well, you often know the apartment. If you don't have like your own house, you can rent an apartment or buy an apartment. So that is an apartment. And it's very convenient, and maybe it's like more beautiful than a house. And where to find an apartment? In an apartment building or apartment block. So, in an apartment building or apartment block, there are two ways to say it. Either building or block it is. You can often find apartment in many apartment buildings. Like in this picture over here, there are many buildings with full of apartments. Very convenient, right? And maybe you can rent one or two of these apartments to live in. Or maybe there's another name for apartment. If you don't know an apartment, then you can call a different name, which is flat. Flat in the British English, they often call flat. But in American English, they'll call apartment. So, here is a flat and apartment. It's like the same, guys, but just to note, you can use either of these words. Flat is in British English and apartment is in American English. Like I said, I'll use both. Sometimes I remember apartment, I'll say apartment. But other time, I remember the word flat more, so I'll say the word flat. It depends on the situation. So here, we have a duplex. This is a duplex. It's like quite weird because this house, normally you can see house at the length like this. But this house, the length is not very long. But instead, it's like the large of this. So you can see many of the duplex in some kind of old villages. So the two-story house or the two-levels house. And there's even a duplex apartment too. The duplex apartment, which the size is very long. Duplex apartment. Or we have another house, which is called a cottage. When I say the word cottage, it's just like a story, a fairy tale story. Because often, like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the seven dwarfs live in a cottage, right? Just like this cottage. And the cottage is often known for its size, which is very small, and you can find a cottage in the countryside. So by looking at this like cottage, I remember the story Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because the seven dwarfs live in this very small cottage, which is very cozy. But nowadays, not many people live in a cottage anymore. It's really rare to find a cottage. And that is a thatched roof. And just to make one note, here's a cottage, and the roof is quite different from the normal roof that we used to live in. Like this house, it's very different. And this is called a thatched cottage. A thatched cottage is shaped like this. Yeah, thatched cottage. So, when the cottages that have the roof like this, we will call the thatched cottage. Yeah, the thatched cottage. We have another type of house, a bungalow. A bungalow, a type of house which is a bungalow, make me think of a cartoon named Augie. So do you know Augie? And in the cartoon Augie, you can often find Jack and Augie. All the houses are the same, and that's a bungalow. So So if in your childhood you have watched the film Augie, you would definitely see the house in the Augie film, just like this house. Because in a bungalow, in the front they will have a mailbox. This is called a mailbox. And the house, they will have a kind of step to walk in the house. So it's just this house is just the house in a cartoon called Augie and the cockroaches. Yeah, every house is the same, and this is a bungalow. Well, bungalow house, not many people live in a bungalow house anymore, except for the cartoon Augie. Yeah, it makes me remember about that. Suddenly, I remember about the cartoon Augie. Made me remember about the house bungalow. And I'm sure that you have watched that, but you don't know what that type of house is. Well, this is it. This is a bungalow with windows and with the ladders over here, the steps. Next, we have bungalow, which is the for vacation, because often if we're on a vacation, especially some homestay, I think you've definitely heard of some homestay. You go on some kind of vacation and you stay in a homestay. And the homestay, I'm sure they'll have a bungalow like this. So what is the difference between a homestay and a hotel? A hotel is very luxury, very expensive. But the homestay is like quite expensive. But it's like more about nature, more about nature. Next we have a cabin. So this is a cabin. Yeah, very weird, right? A cabin, it looks like a cabin. I'm sure your house have a cabin which you put clothes in or shoes in. And in the cabin, it doesn't look like a cabin, which is a shape like a rectangle or a square, depends. And a cabin is also small and usually on vacation. On vacation, you'll stay in a small cabin with your family, which is very cozy. And for a cabin, it's made of logs. Yeah, it's wooden here. A very beautiful cabin made of logs and wood. Next, we have chalet. This is chalet. And we have another word called Swiss chalet. Well, a chalet is a house usually in winter. Well, I would say that chalet in winter and made of wood. Yes, wood. You can make of wood, and the Swiss Alps live there. Or here is a barn. I'm sure you've seen a barn before. A barn, which is a place which animal lives, the farm building. Animal lives, not human, because humans never live in a barn. Only animal like cow or pig live in a barn. And you can call this barn conversion. Barn conversion. Here is another type of barn which is different from the first one you'll see. The first one you see is like for animal. But now, this barn conversion, it's like for a human to live in, because you can see that inside the barn conversion have many furniture like chairs, tables, etc. And a farm, a house in a farm is called a farmhouse. Really easy, a farmhouse, which the farmers usually live in a farmhouse to raise some cattle, herd the cattle. So farmhouse. A house in a farm is called a farmhouse. We have a mobile home. Yeah, the first part we learned about house, but we have the home too. So what is the difference between house and home? Well, I'm sure you think both the words have the same meaning, right? But you're wrong. The home is the home that had people live inside it. So this is a home. I'm living in my home because now I'm inside my home, and my mom, my sister, and my father too. They're both inside this home. So home is like a home which has people, family living, very cozy. And a house which has no furniture, no people live in there at all. It's just a house. It's not a home. So this is a mobile home. A mobile home which is like a bus. It's like a bus or a metro, which inside this, you can drive there, you can eat, sleep, there's even a bed in a mobile home, which is very convenient, you know, especially on vacation. You can drive the mobile home on some kind of places that you want to go. And also, you can even sit, eat, and sleep during the night, which you take a rest. So a mobile home is a good choice for your family. if you decided to go somewhere and want to rest too, maybe you go to another country and you don't have enough money to go by plane, so you can go by a mobile home, and at night you can rest inside the mobile home. Very cool. And in the American English, we call this an RV. RV is short for recreational vehicle. Recreational vehicle. So it's just like a mobile home, but a little bit different. The texture and how they build it is different. So the RV. RV. And in British English, we have the caravan. So this is inside a caravan. We have the seats. You can either switch the seats in front or behind it. Even a bed and a little space to cook as well. Very convenient. A caravan. We have a trailer. A trailer, well, just to make sure that the caravan and the trailer, it's a little the same. It's also a bus, but how they decorate it, how they build it is different. So this is the trailer. And the place that they often store the trailer is called the trailer park. The trailer park is a park. We have the detached house. Here is a detached house. Very convenient. It has 2 levels, we often like 2 floors, and stands alone. So what is a detached house? Well, we have many types of house, and a detached house is, for example, this is my house, and near my house is another house, but it is not like the walls attached to each other. It's near my house, but it's not a wall that's attached to each other. Maybe about 10 centimeters away is another house, and in that house, 10 centimeters away is another house. So that is called a detached house. And like I mentioned, there is another kind of detached house, which is semi-detached, shares a wall, just like my house. Next to my house, we share a wall with another house with my neighbor. So we share a wall, which is called a semi-detached. Well, you can see this is a wall that has a television. And if I tap this right now, maybe the neighbor were here. So that's, we share a wall, and that is called a semi-detached. Very cool. Oh, we have a villa. Yeah, villa is very nice, which is a really big spot that a big house live in. A villa. Here's a villa. Very convenient and very beautiful as well. It's like a really big house. Here's just a small house, but a villa is a very big house too. We even have a manor. Manor is often known for its large, and there are many land around the manor. And you know that even kings and queens live in a manor too. So in a manor, sometime in a villa, maybe next to it will be another villa. But in this manor, it has, here's a manor, and around it, there are many lands. And we have a mansion. A mansion is even bigger than a villa. And a mansion is often known for its size, which is very, very large. A mansion is very large and expensive, luxury items around. Yes, so this is a mansion. A mansion is even bigger than a village, you know. So if you have money, then you can live in a mansion. And you know that in some countries, they live in a castle as well. Castle, you know, you may think that castle is only for kings and queens, but if we have money, then we can build a castle as well. And if you don't know anything about castle, then watch my video on YouTube. I have a video about castle. Just type castle and you'll see my video. Yeah. Castle and palace. Yeah, here's the palace. It's also very large as well. A palace and castles are different, you know. A castle is like not as modern as the palace. A palace is more modern than a castle. So yeah, the world we live in, it's like many houses around the world. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and next time we'll learn about herbs. So what is herbs? Many, many different stories. Bye!